Welcome to Same Spit Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast, and it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. Dame Dash says Drake made an offer for Rockefeller, his 1/3 of it. The story basically goes that after Dame Dash got online and said that he would offer an authentic Rockefeller chain with the 1/3 purchase of Rockefeller, which holds the catalog for Can I Live, he said that Drake DM'd him on Instagram and asked him about buying it and purchasing it. And Dame kind of tied this in around the Super Bowl. Now, one thing I could think about is that I told y'all that Jay-Z is kind of being petty about this situation. And so one thing I could think about, if it got back to Jay-Z that Drake was trying to buy Rockefeller so he can end up getting a chain and come to the Super Bowl and perform with Lil Wayne with that chain on and make it a moment, and maybe use that as a moment to try to say, well, yeah, you were big homie then, but I'm big homie now. And without actually saying it, saying it in a roundabout way. That's Drake saying that about Jay-Z. That Hove could have heard that, like, oh, he think he finna buy Rockefeller and come on the Super Bowl stage and get slick with me. Nah, Lil Wayne won't be there, or you won't be there. And guess what? I'm gonna bring your nemesis there to perform. And people won't even see it as petty because Kendrick had a big year. Kendrick got a lot of Grammys, people looking up to Kendrick. And also in the past, Drake turned the Super Bowl down. Now, one thing about being strategic is when you out on the island by yourself, you all alone. And I give this story all the time, how people will say, I don't F with people, I don't deal with people, I don't like people around me. But then when they need some allies, when they need that aid and assistance, they can't get any because they've isolated everybody. They've gotten everybody from around them. So now, if Drake would have did one of those old Super Bowls thinking that, maybe one day I'll need a favor from Hove, or maybe one day I'll need a favor from the Super Bowl, he could have built his relationship with them people. And then when it would have came around where Kendrick would have had this big year, they would have been like, you know what? We really cool with Drake. He did us a solid by doing the Super Bowl. Nah, we not coming. And one thing I always hear Vlad TV and I always hear DJ Academics talk about is that, hey, you guys don't have to come sit down and do an interview with me, because talking about you will get me just as much recognition. So when you could look at it from the standpoint of Super Bowl, they can actually feel like, hey, you didn't want to come all those years. That's cool. You don't have to come, because right now at this point, having Kendrick Lamar come to the Super Bowl and do a show will generate conversation around your name, which will be just as good as actually having you come to the Super Bowl, maybe even better, because you and Kendrick Lamar may get into a back and forth, or Kendrick Lamar may mention your name at the Super Bowl, and now everybody else will be like, oh, did you hear what he said about Kendrick? Did you hear about this, hear about that? So, hey, man, I think this is chess, not checkers in life all the time. And to me, it makes sense why Hove put out that letter and let everybody know, yo, if you buy this Rockefeller, you only gonna have it for 7 years and it returned to me. And I think that was Hove way of not trying to stop Dame money, but trying to stop Dame from selling it to Drake, where Drake would be like, well, it don't make no sense to pay $1 million, $2 million, $3 million for it. And then I'm not gonna, but the thing about it is that a person like Drake could get that catalog and he'll be able to do remixes and all that type of stuff with it. And he'll be able to recoup his money, in my personal opinion, within maybe weeks. So, yeah, that's something that you just have to look into. Once again, this is Fairplay 2333 of Same Spit Different Face podcast. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And if you do like my opinions, subscribe to the page, and you can follow me on all platforms. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair.